What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another video, part of the Villages series here. For this video today, on this beautifully sunny, right around 70-degree day, probably can't tell by the way I'm dressed. I just want to try to bundle up a little bit extra just to keep my core warm, but it's about 70 degrees out. It's pretty perfect day. For this video, we're doing the third and final course at Hacienda Hills Golf and Country Club. This particular 9 holes is called the Palms. So again, Hacienda Hills, I did 2 last time, the Lakes and the Oaks course last time I was out here. Hacienda Hills is a 27-hole championship complex, 3 9-hole courses, located in the village of Hacienda at 1195 Morse Boulevard. So only 2 tee box options here, men's and women's. This is just a basically regular 9-hole standard type of course, so par 4s, par 5s, etc. We're going to give it a go. Played yesterday, 36 holes back here, so a little bit fatigued, but it is warmer out today, so I'm thinking the extra temperature and the fact that I'm bundled up will kind of offset a little bit of the soreness and fatigue, but swing doesn't feel quite as dialed as it was yesterday. It was kind of just a one of those, I think, lucky kind of low expectation type of days yesterday, because I came out after purposely not hitting any shots for about 2 weeks just to try to heal up any lingering issues I have going on with my twisting motion type of ab issues. But we're going to give it a go. Hit 1 drive in the warm-up video I just played, which was decent, so we'll see. Had a decent driving day yesterday. We'll see if this a little bit more open course. Yesterday I played the championship, or the PGA Tour schedule courses, rather, if I could talk. So definitely more narrow and unforgiving yesterday. Today, more of a regular type of course that you and me, average Joes, would play. So more forgiving off the tee, less hazards and bunkers, wider fairways. Should be good. So real quick for the rundown, everything's linked down below in the description. Appreciate it if you check out those Amazon links. Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand. Country Club Elite mat, Callaway Superfast balls, DIY stance mats, or mat, singular, 10x7 nets, and Home Tee Hero that I have behind me in the shade over here, just to prevent any overheating, as simulator software. So, first hole, par 5, 503. Gonna aim right down the middle, see what happens. Kind of continuing on from where I was yesterday, debating going back to a playable fade this summer, more of my natural shot shape versus trying to pick out targets right and constantly getting the ball to work left. But we'll see. It all sounds good until multiple rounds in a row where I start really coming across it and losing the ball 30 yards right. Kind of like that one. Not terrible heely, but that's going to be up the right side. Came across that a little bit more than I wanted, but we'll see if we catch the fairway. That might get into the rough. Not terrible though. Decent launch, about 270. And we stayed in the fairway. I mean, that was still probably, this is a pretty wide fairway. This is probably, I mean, I don't even know, 50-yard wide fairway, if not more. That was probably a 20-30 yard slice to be up on the right side. Again, everything because we're in portrait mode here on the simulator. Obviously, you got to fit a super wide golf hole as opposed to being in landscape. You got to shrink it down. So, although we're in the fairway, that would have been right side of the fairway. So, if it's 50 yards across, that was probably 25 yards or so towards the right. But 225 left, up 2. I'm gonna try the 4-iron, and we'll see. When I was warming up, because of the warmer temperature, again, like 70 degrees, I hit 1 9-iron. That was 160 total. Usually I hit that club right around 155. So if I hit them good, I'll probably see about 5 yards extra, possibly up to 10, just from the warmer temperatures. All that to say, I think the 4 hybrid would be too much. So let's try the 4-iron. Didn't hit it great. High on the face, very heely. That's going to be short and up the right. probably into that bunker. Not the best swing there. But 2 days in a row out here after not hitting any balls purposely for 2 weeks. Expectations are still lower. Just feels good to get out here in the nice weather. So not going to get too down in the dumps with 4 swings. 33 yards in the bunker, up 1. So 34, 20%. It does look not too bad. I try to look at the shadows around the bunker to see if it's going to play more than 20. But 20% of that's going to be 6-7 yards. So what are we at, 41-ish? I'm going to try the 56 and put a little bit extra on my regular 30-35 yard shot with this club. See if we can get right around 40 with it. I was thinking, yesterday I mentioned possibly adding a wedge in between my approach wedge, which was 51, and then I go right to the 56. I could do that, but I was also thinking maybe experimenting with swinging this a little more full. I only get worried, I like choking down on my wedges to control them a little bit better, and if I basically took a fuller swing with this, with the full grip, I think it would get up and over the net way too quick. But if I maybe go like 3/4 instead of choking as far down, I could probably space out and use this club a little bit more versus buying a whole nother wedge. But let's see, 40 yards. Thinned it, and it was right. Should be on the green, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, a little bit of a stutter there. Got inside the inner circle. Not a very good strike by any means, but that'll work. +1, birdie. Not going to complain about that. Birdie on the first hole. Pretty bad wedge strike, but better to be lucky than good. Camera over here is directly in the sun, so a little bit worried about overheating, but should be alright. It's really when summertime comes around, when it's 80 degrees plus and in the sun, that's when I have to come out here later and make sure that this area is covered with shade so nothing overheats. But there was times when I've done trips to Florida where even getting in and out of the cart and whatnot, the camera overheats just from being in the sun with 90, 100 degree temperatures. But second hole, par 4, 379. I think I might favor, we'll see, favor the left center on some of these tee shots and count a little bit for possibly overdoing the fade until I dial that in a little bit more. Until I start hitting duck hook left, then I'll have to start aiming up the right. Lower launch, Healy. Oh, it didn't get it. That was a decent swing again. I'm gonna give it a second to see if it goes. That one would have, we aimed a little bit left, and that one was gonna be up the left, but that still would have been left fairway. Looks like we're getting a mulligan, although I would have taken that drive all day. See if I can just do that again. Decent amount worse than the first one. That was lower. That's going to be about 20 yards less than that first swing was, but 250 on the rollout. We're in play. 249. I stand corrected. That sucks. It'll even itself out, but it sucks when you hit one decent, then you have to do it again. Obviously, I would prefer the mulligans on the super horrendous ones, but 134 left, up 1. Should be a perfect stock pitching wedge here. thin Healy left. That one I had starting left and staying left. I did hit it very Healy, so maybe it did spin back right, but pretty horrendous strike. Luckily we were on the green for a par, but I think that may be kind of the story of today, with some very hot and cold type of strikes all mixed in. Still 1 under though. Third hole, par 3, 168. Gonna go 8 iron. Better. Still a little bit Healy. That's gonna fade. Overdid it. It's always the I said it a couple times last round I just played. Bad shot, good read from the R10. Better strike, but overdid the fade. It always seems like the terrible ones, the R10 really picks it up super accurately, unfortunately. But not the best 8 iron there. We are in play. 17 yards, 10%. Need about 19 total. Going 60. Dead straight, but I don't know if I got 19. And it looks like that's another no read. I don't know if that's the R10 or I'm not grounding the club quite enough, or a combination of both right before the shot. That would have been decent. That was probably a couple yards short of 19, but that would have been inner circle. Now, looks like we got to do it again. So, put a little bit more on that one, but I pulled that a little bit. It's going to be left. Yep. It always surprises me how good I go back and forth. Seems like the R10 has good days and bad days too, but it's pretty crazy how even those shorter chips, the R10 does such a good job. I knew I pulled that a little bit left and it picked up on that and landed right next to the pin left side. It's pretty cool. 1 under through 3, fourth hole, par 5, 485, dogleg left. So we're gonna go right about there and we'll see what happens. Hole 1 left, we're in possibly tree trouble, but let's see if I can kind of straighten things out. Started just a tad left, maybe a 5 or 10 yard fade would be perfect. Well, that's more than 5 or 10 yards. That's about 20 or 30, but it'll be up the right. I'm connecting better. It seems like I can swing it quicker, more of that fade, and it feels like I'm almost, which I kind of want to work on, I need to dial it in, but it feels like I'm kind of almost, obviously I don't have the happy feet like Scotty, but almost kind of jump left and back almost through the shot to try to really get your weight through it and kind of throw the club head a little bit more. It seems like I can get some extra distance by doing that versus kind of staying more down. Obviously you don't want to hit down on the driver, but kind of covering the ball more and really starting it right to draw it like I was before. Just seems like I can get the club head moving a little bit quicker by kind of coming up through it. Not that you want to extend through shots, but I don't know. All right, we hit the fairway, so 243 up 2. Should be right in the ballpark of a well-struck 4 hybrid if I can do it. Usually play this to right around 240, 245 or so. Occasionally get it up towards 250 if I really hit it good. struck that decent. It's gonna fade, but that should be, oh, not if it lands in the bunker. I was gonna say that's gonna be all of about 240. Oh, we got over it. Yeah, 238 on the rollout. Take that all day long. That was pretty clean contact. I tried to raise my shoulders up a little bit, kind of come in with a more shallow strike, and hit up on it just a little bit. That was a pretty solidly hit for hybrid there. All right, loosening up a little bit. Things are looking up. A couple good shots here. We're 2 under through 4. 5th hole par 4, 346. All right. Dogleg right, and we got water right, so I gotta be careful with those fades that I was hitting. I'm gonna aim right about there and give ourselves plenty of room. Straight, we're fine, possibly into the bunker if I hit anything over 280, which is unlikely. Left, we got trees, but I'd rather be in the trees than overdo something right and end up in the agua. Well, that's going to be headed left, but it was hit halfway decent. It was kind of a low missile up the left. Not going to go super far because of the launch, but 262 into the rough. We'll take it. At least that opens up the hole going back the other way. Alright, fortunately, we're just into the rough, so we could add 10%, but we got 143, down 2, so 141 plus 14, so 151, 155, should be a good stock 9. Was striking my irons much better yesterday. Not terrible, but it was thin, started left. That'll probably come back. We'll see if I hit it enough to get there. Go, just barely. Pretty low poor strike again, but we're on the green. Tried to feel like my chest was more over that ball too again, but still catching them thin. 6th hole, par 4, still 2 under. 344, pretty much dead straight. So we'll aim right there, right at the edge of that bunker. Let's see. Had a handful of drives yesterday. I was actually swinging the driver decent. Not hitting it bad today either, but had a couple north of 270. I think I had 1 or 2 low 280s. Same thing as the last one, low and up the left. That was even further left, that was further off the heel. Well, 246, not quite 280. We're in play. .102, up 1, and we're in the rough, so 113. Gonna go about 3/4 approach wedge here, which again is 51 degrees. Full, it's about 125, occasionally 130 if I really hit it good. So 3/4 should be good, right around 115-ish, I think. At least that's the plan. like a half a groove low, but it was dead center of the club. Should be good. If anything, it'll be a little bit too long. Yep. Good strike there, though. That was literally dead center. I couldn't have hit that more centered in the club if I tried. One thing about these balls, it does happen too with the regular balls, but these mat balls, I think it's just that almost rubberized coating. It leaves an imprint almost every single time when I hit it. So I can kind of get, R10 doesn't pick up on where the shot impact was, but I can kind of see, similar to if you spray like foot spray on the, people do that with drivers and stuff, I can kind of see every single time where I'm hitting it off the club, which is kind of cool. Still 2 under through 6, 7th hole, par 4, 355, another dogleg right with water right, so we're gonna go same thing, up the left, right about there. Said it before, but for any newer viewers, it's worth noting. This is just the line that I'm taking, so I could have this line at 150, or I could have it at 350. I have it at 279. I'll probably not hit that, but that's just the line I'm taking. So where the distance you have it aimed is irrelevant. The R10 still picks up on the ball speed and club speed and everything. So that's the swing we've been looking for. Slightly low on the face, but that should be dead straight up the middle with a little bit of a baby fade. Or just dead straight right where we aimed, but I'll take that all day long. 269 into the rough. That was just, I knew as soon as I hit that, that was just going to be dead straight. I thought that actually would have came back just a little bit. Possibly a little bit more towards the edge of the fairway, but can't be disappointed when you hit it exactly where you aim. Fortunately, we got another rough situation here, but 135 down 1, and then call it 14 yards. So that brings us up to 144, 148. I'm gonna go 9. Hit it this about 80% if I can. That was partly off the hosel. That was almost a shank. That might be in the water. Bunker saved us. That was horrendous. That ball was, you could probably tell by the sound maybe too. That was horrendous. That was definitely a shank. It was almost a complete hosel rocket, but that was a partial. Fitting, I guess, for the channel, but that's not good. Found ourselves in the bunker. Gotta put this close. 32, up 1, 20%. So I think I need right around 40. I'm gonna try the 56 again. I'm gonna try to experiment, push this club up. I like playing it anywhere from 25 up to about 35 as a comfort zone. 30 yards, I have this dialed in, but I might start experimenting a little bit up more towards 40, 50 yards, and then maybe even into 60. And then pull out that approach wedge once I get up towards like 60, 70 yards. It's gonna fade a little bit, but that should be in the ballpark. Wow, or not. Way too much. That must have been over a 50-yard swing. I hit it pretty solid. I didn't think that was gonna fly that far. That hurts the scorecard. Is that a triple? Is that a triple or a double? I think we were 2 under, so that was a double. Back to even. 2 holes left. That's not great. Alright. 8th hole, par 3, 130 down 2. We do have to get over the water, so I was debating hitting a full extra, more than full approach wedge, but I'm gonna go pitching wedge and take just a tad off of it If we come up a little long, so be it, but I want to get up and over that water if I can. Well, I should have the distance, but it was helium thin. That'll probably be long, or on the long side. Hopefully it lands soft on the back. Alright. Not quite squaring things up today. One hole left. 9th hole, par 4. Let's end this with a good drive, and hopefully a good approach shot. Nice open fairway. As long as I don't top it off the tee into this water, we should be fine. Not too bad, a little bit toey. It's gonna fade up the right, but that'll be fine. Straighten it out too. A little bit of a fade on that, but kind of down the middle. 272. Those are at least closer to the center of the club face. Put ourselves in a good spot. Let's see here. We're gonna go up to the approach wedge, 60 yards. I have a tendency, whole reason why I'm experimenting with a little bit more distance with that 56, because I have a tendency to hit this club kind of airmail stuff, trying to do a 60-yard shot, and sometimes like I'm gonna try to have a feel of about 50 here. We'll see. Probably gonna be pretty close to the distance, but I pulled it. Yeah, spot on distance, just pulled. That's alright though, should be a par. So, take a look at the scorecard. We had a good round going too, besides that double. So, from the third and final course at Hacienda Hills Golf and Country Club, this was again the Palms course, we ended up with an even par 36. So, I mean, pretty solid up until 6 and 7. We had 2 birdies, we were 2 under with the rest were pars, and then double bogey on that 7th, which hurt, and then par. So, not too bad. I'll take it. Obviously would have liked to avoid that double bogey, but 4 out of 7 fairways. A driver again, swinging it a little bit better as of late, so promising. Had some good ones in the 270s, I think. 4 out of 7 fairways, slightly above 50%. We'll take that. Greens and regulation. Didn't think I struck my irons good enough for that, but 7 out of 9 will take that too, as well as the putts. A little bit high on the putts, only 1 shy of 2 putts a hole. Like to be ideally 1, which is abnormally low, but right around 1.5 putts. So a little bit high on that metric, but I mean, all in all, 36 even par, not too bad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna reset things here, play at least 1 more, possibly 2. We'll see. Again, super nice right now. 70 degrees, light little breeze, clear blue sky. We have unfortunately rain the rest of the week, so likely won't be out here again for another week or so because of the weather situation. So want to, like I mentioned last time, make hay or make double bogeys, I guess in my case, while the sun shines. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, appreciate it if you check out those links down below. If you do any of your Amazon shopping, just click those links. I get a small percentage. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me even a 1-word comment down below. Helps the algorithm. Maybe share the video. And I'll see you guys at the next course.